Hey guys, welcome back to Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. Just want to show off a cool little shirt I got recently. The Mummy, 1932, with Boris Karloff. It's official Universal wear, and it was one of my birthday presents, so I thought it's such a cool shirt and everything. So, welcome back, guys, to Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. Today I got a really cool, little interesting little episode. Recently, Warner Archive has done some really cool things. Actually, just recently and last year came out with two phenomenal classic movies from Warner Brothers. Let's get right into this. So, last week, the release, or maybe it's 2 weeks now, the release of Dr. X was really made a lot of headlines in the community, the collecting community, because it was a long-awaited film. It has a really big fan base out there. It's Michael Curtiz directed it. He made Casablanca, some of the famous movies at Warner Brothers. He pretty much was a lifelong director there for most, his whole career basically. And this was made in 1932, and what they did was they assembled a cast headed by Fay Wray and what's his name? It's got Lee Tracy and Lionel Atwill. Which is he's kind of a dude that was in a lot of little scary movies in the 30s and 40s and stuff. But Dr. X, what they did, UCLA found this movie back, I don't know when it was, the late 60s or something. It was in Jack Warner's personal vault, and it was a rough cut. It was kind of beat up a little bit. They restored it and everything, and it came out on VHS and Laserdisc in the early 90s, and I actually picked that up back then. It was really cool, so I got to show it off just in comparison. So this was released in the 90s. I think it was like 92. This came out in 1992. They were doing a lot of these. MGM-UA was releasing a lot of these double feature discs. I got a really cool double feature one that's got James Cagney and Edward G. Robinson, Public Enemy and Little Caesar. They're paired together, and there's some silent movies and on and on and on. But this was a really cool all-in-one package back then for two really cool, very interesting movies. I mean, just curiosity to just how these looked, and they were saved from almost oblivion of just complete loss of these movies because they were rescued in time before their color completely faded out. And then they, of course, they put them out on video. Dr. X was in Jack Warner's private vault. I'm not sure if Mystery of the Wax Museum was also, but they were both in there. But, yeah, Mystery of the Wax Museum, or let's talk about Dr. X. Dr. X came out, it was done in a 2-strip Technicolor process. Which is very interesting to look that up, early Technicolor. It's the 2-strip process they did. It started in the early... Well, actually, I think they may have started in the 20s for a few movies. But they used it to great effect in 1932 and 33 for two movies that we're talking about, Dr. X and The Mystery of the Wax Museum. And just, this is a beautiful set. It's a beautiful gatefold. It's got the chapters and everything, list on the back. It's just stunning to look at. It's like, to me, it's almost frameable. It's got some of the original, poster art and everything. Really super cool. And so we had that for a while. So 92, to, say, 2002, where they had, was it the original, let's see, mystery, wait a minute, how can I do this? I don't want to get everybody confused, because now I have to talk about the Mystery of the Wax Museum. But anyways, let's talk about let's finish Dr. X. Dr. X came out, it was the first one in 1932, it was a big hit, and basically 1933 came around, and they assembled most of the same cast, Fay Wray, Lionel Atwill, Lee Tracy, they all return for the Mystery of the Wax Museum. And this is the new, you know, the Warner Archive Collection Blu-ray that came out last year, which was on many reviewers' top 10 list of the best movie of the year, if not the best release of the year. And what they did was Warner Archive not only they didn't just scan this and just stick it back out there, because in, say, 2002, when House of Wax, the Vincent Price movie, it was remade in 1953, basically. So when they put that out on DVD in the early 2000s, they put The Mystery of the Wax Museum as kind of a bonus feature movie and stuff. So even by then, it looked really beat up. I have the House of Wax disc, but I'll just talk about it. It doesn't have much about the Mystery of the Wax Museum on it. So it looked pretty beat up and everything. So I'm really glad, you know, you fast forward almost 20 years, and Warner Archive, I'm really glad they just didn't scan it and just stick it out on Blu-ray and be done with it. I'm glad they didn't do that. They went in, they meticulously restored the Mystery of the Wax Museum and Dr. X. They went through, fixed up their original 2-strip process Technicolor, cleaned it up real good, and the movies look better than they ever have, probably since they were first released, I would say. So I just want to say, you know, this is probably going to be a quick video, but you've got to go out and get these. I mean, the Mystery of the Wax Museum and Dr. X. I mean, a little bit about this movie. It's, like I said, it's got Lionel Atwill, Fay Wray. I'm actually wrong. Is Lee Tracy not in this? Lee Tracy always would play a wisecracking, kind of a smart alecky, like, reporter. He would always work for a, you know, newspaper. He was fast talking and stuff. I don't think he's in this one. He's in Dr. X pretty good there. He's one of the, like, probably third build on it and stuff. But yeah, this is another Michael Curtiz movie. Lionel Atwill is a wax sculptor, and he's got this. This takes place in, what is it, early France. It doesn't say when it. I don't know if it's like the beginning of the 20th century, or, you know, somewhere in there. And he's got this wax museum, and he's got a business partner. The business partner wants to just burn down the whole wax museum and collect the money and just split it with the guy. Well, the sculptor says, no, you know, I cannot burn up my works of art. They're mine, and they're beautiful, and I can never do that. And so they get into a fight. He basically burns down the wax museum with the sculptor inside. So it's like a tale that's been told, you know, House of Wax with Vincent Price, same thing. You know, he was the sculptor. He comes back, and, you know, he comes back to life, or, you know, he comes back somehow and shows, you know, starts doing these weird things start happening on the streets of, you know, Paris and everything. So really cool, early, chilling, little chiller. I guess you could almost call it a horror movie, but more of like a thriller, you know, suspenseful thriller type of movie. You know, it's a Mystery of the Wax Museum. So it's really cool. It has some really chilling moments. I think the 2-strip Technicolor really gives it some real ambiance, if you will, some real shading and stuff. So it looks really cool. Highly recommend Mystery of the Wax Museum. And I highly recommend Dr. X. Same thing, same crew. It's got Lee Tracy in it though. He's funny. He was in a lot of Warner Brothers First National releases in the early 30s and 40s. But yeah, those are highly recommended, guys. Get those. Before I let you go, I just want to say, you know, UCLA, you know, they really did a great job. I mean, on both discs, there's some special features. There's some short documentaries on each one of how they were, you know, they went into the vault and cleaned it up, the process, and, you know, before and after pictures and stuff. So really cool stuff, guys. If you're into the history of Hollywood and just early filmmaking processes and cameras and different things that Hollywood has used over their, you know, over the, you know, 100 years of the 20th century, you know, just different little processes, you know. Nowadays we have 4K, and, you know, back then they had this, you know, two-step process, and this was color, and everybody was amazed, you know. But now we have, you know, super sharp, clear, more realer than life 4K, you know, which, you know, I love 4K just as much as anybody else. But really cool to check it out. Get those, guys. I highly recommend those. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, subscribe today, and you will see videos like this. And also, if you liked this episode and found it very informative, then give it a like, if you will. And comment on your thoughts on these movies and stuff. Take a chance and get them. I believe you can get them for $20 or less on Amazon right now. I mean, they just come out. They're still, you know, Wax Museum is still considered new. So, so that's about it, guys. So stay safe out there, and keep watching good movies. And I will see you guys in another episode. Arrivederci.